evening. Good evening, everyone. It's me, Annirudra Sharma from Class 5. I'm from Nobel Academy. Today, I'm going to tell a presentation about Bhanubhakta Acharya. So, let's get started. So, first up, introduction about him. Bhanubhakta Acharya was Nepal was born in 1814 to 1868 CE and 1871 to 1925 BS. He was a Nepali writer, poet, and translator. He is widely regarded as the first poet in Nepali language, which he was conferred with the title Adi Khabi, literally the first poet. So let's go on to next. About him, Bhanubhakta Acharya was brought into the world on 13th of July 1814 in Chundiramaga Tanu area of Nepal to Father Janjai and Dharmalvati. Acharya accepted his essential training in Sanskrit from his granddad and advanced education in Varanasi. Bhanubhakta Acharya was a great Nepali essayist, writer, and interpreter who for the most part viewed as the principal writer of Nepali language, as Valmiki was the principal individual to make an interpretation of Ramayana from Sanskrit to Nepali. He was given the title Adikavi. Later, his sonnets were distributed by artist Motiram Bhatt. So let's get into more. Contribution, writing, and career. South Asian language, including the Nepali language, were limited mostly to an oral medium of language disseminated at the time with a little written context and literary influence. As the most written texts of South Asia were dominated by Sanskrit, it was mostly inaccessible to the general populace as the Brahmins were the caste who excelled as teachers, scholars, and priests. The access to all the religious scriptures and other literature was only limited to them. And only few who could also receive education and understand Sanskrit. Many poets had written poems in Sanskrit while Acharya started to write in Nepali language, which not only popularized the language but also gained him acceptance from the Rana rulers. Acharya's beloved toward Ram's heroic exploits brought him in an urgency to make his tale accessible to people who spoke Nepali. Since the most people did not understand the Sanskrit language, he translated the epic into the Nepali language, preserving the lyrical narration style of Ramayana. His translations were believed by scholars to carry the same lyrical essence, bhava and mara, that rather than sounding like a poem, sounding like a song without distorting the original influence or the inner meaning of Ramayana. He did not receive any Western education nor was familiar with foreign literature, which kept his work and experimental journey original to venture literacy system and brought strong Nepali flavor to his works. The key feature to his writing was simple yet strong sense of religion, a sense of simplicity and warmth of his country that many other poets have been able to compare. Belonging to a wealthy family, he never had any financial trouble and had an unremarkable life till he met a grass cutter who wanted to give something to his society so he could be remembered after the death too. The grass cutter word were what inspired him to do something that would leave a mark on society. He wrote two masterpieces in his life, among which is Bhanubhakta Ramayan and the other is a letter he wrote in verse from to the prime minister while he was in prison. He was made a scapegoat and sent to prison due to some misunderstanding in singing the papers. In prison, his health deteriorated and he was given a false hope of being set free, but his case was not even heard, so he wrote a petition to the prime minister requesting his freedom, which later became one of his great works. Not only he won his freedom with his poem, but he was also given a bag of money for wrote in the same language in the prime minister wanted to force the public to use when he died in 1860. He did not know he would one day become one of the most revered poets in Nepali. His creation, however, was not published and he died without receiving the credits for his contribution. His works were published in Motram Bata in 1887 after he found the manuscript and took it to Behram, India for printing. One day Acharya's work is well known for its colorful glowing praise of Kathmandu Valley and its inhabitants. Although he is one of the most celebrated and reserved poets of Nepal, his work are not famous as the other poets in the history of Nepal literature. Ramayana, which Archana originally translated into Nepali, was also translated into English more than a century later. It is considered the first translator in English that is published in Nepal. Ep- some poems of Bhanubhakta Acharya, epic poem Bhanubhakta Ramayana, poems, Akarmatik, Amarkwati, Kantipuri Nagari, Gansi, Kadu, Bhadu, Bhadu Sikha, भक्तमाला कवाती यस गिर्दीले रोज रोज दर्शन पाउँछु भोलि कविता म भानुभक्त बलजी देखन परस्तो माला